And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here we go with the Packer offense guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did.
Rodgers going to come out throwing. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3 and out and did just that. Second down and 4. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Here's Rodgers to throw. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it second down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And it's complete to Adams. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. Running out of board there on 1st down, got his hand in and knocked it away.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Jacobs. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Zone infraction, defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
The ball placed just outside of the end zone as they come up again on another 3rd and goal. Rodgers now to throw. He had a man open, but he missed it. It's incomplete. Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. Do you think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know you think they can go get it.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And led out by their veteran quarterback. He's been around a while. They don't celebrate birthdays for him. They just cut him up, see how many rings he's got around the middle. He has been in the league a long time.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down of the sack. Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early, and I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator asking him if that's exactly what he saw in his mind when he called that play. And if so, is it going to be like this all day? That's a tough one right there.
Able to get away, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go,
there is a hush indeed. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. To throw, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. This defense for the Vikings, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
It's a gain of 6. 1st down, Green Bay.
Throwing is Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. And again, it's Rodgers. That's to Kraft, the tight end. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. From the 5 now, 2nd and a yard. Now Rodgers. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bottling him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown. Jaden Reed, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Packers are able to add on to that lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Vikings offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And you can see he leads the league in rushing as he enters this final week. So we'll see how involved they want him to be here in this regular season finale. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They start the drive with Peterson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A quick 1st down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. They run again on first down. Peterson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Vikings had 8 and 8 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind in the best way to get in that good frame of mind. So they come in feeling good. They get the home crowd behind them. That nigga going to be tough to beat in this one.
18 yards the gain for number 18.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. Now a 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. They'll try the middle with Peterson. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Peterson. And he'll get it. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run. Give it right back to him and let him count things off.
So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And bulldozing his way through. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Open man, here's Cobb. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Rodgers going to throw. Able to find his man, Kraft. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Holding offense.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. On play action, now McCarthy. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Incomplete. Sets up a 3rd down and 18.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. They shakes him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Now he's looking just to add to his totals. Here's Rodgers. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
He's still barreling through. And able to get this out to the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Looking to throw McCarthy. And that's caught inside the 45. Touchdown, Vikings. Rondale Moore, 69 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And that time he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 2. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get funny, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. From the 38 now, here's a 2nd and 5. To throw is Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. Only able to gain a couple there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
Now it's Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Here now, 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. That's complete, and once again, it's Cobb. This one good for a first down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them in the field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Rodgers. They'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Touchdown! Jaden Reed, his 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. That time, a 9-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. To the air with McCarthy. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Now McCarthy. Here's a screen to Powell. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Here's McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Throwing is McCarthy. That throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it.
Only 2. Left in the regular season. Everybody's excited to get to the playoffs. So excited that we're just going to skip right over halftime and get back to the action. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
2nd and 3. This one brought in by Jefferson. And able to get this one across the 35 before he's brought down. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown! Rondale Moore. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And all in all, pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Packers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Powers through. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Shows his strength at the 50. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 65 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
In motion goes the tight end. Throwing is Rodgers. He finds his man complete. That's Reed. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. This is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 3. Here's Rodgers to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cobb. Calling a gain of a yard. And now it's 3rd and 3. Back to the running game with Jacobs. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
First down, Packers.
To throw, it's Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10.
A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Rodgers now to throw. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but he'll still bring up a 4th down.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3.
So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here, right at the 30-yard line. There's the always dangerous Rondale Moore. He and this offense ready to begin the upcoming series.
He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. I've been to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
3rd quarter action here in this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10.
On play action, Rodgers. And blocked down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now Rodgers.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the field goal. A 49-yard.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing the coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right where the interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Again, Peterson.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. McCarthy. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down.
Back to throw. McCarthy. He finds his man. Complete. It's Peterson. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis.
2nd and 9.
It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. Rodgers going to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Cobb. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
To throw is Rodgers from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
It has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Well, this defense, Charles, we know how good they are, but they've been beat a couple of times in this game. However, they got the latest laugh.
And how about the way they hung in there? Because you're exactly right. They're not used to being dented as they've been so far in this game. But what they just did there with that pick 6, that's the equivalent of what was happening to them. They're throwing touchdown passes against them. Okay, we'll take one back against you.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. 97 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
There's a short one pulled in by Simmett.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Pass complete to Addison.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Sticking with a pass. Here's McCarthy.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles. A nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So after the INT, it's Rodgers.
Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson.
Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
2nd and 5.
At the 34-yard line.
Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
And this is the worry because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
To throw is Rodgers.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Christian Watson.
32 yards.
And the Packers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator, and they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter, and I don't see them looking back.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown catch from Christian Watson.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC.
Well, here we sit, Week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as the tackle made at the 42.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Looking to throw McCarthy. He gets it to Addison. Had a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
That is caught. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line. Now McCarthy. Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. McCarthy operating from the gun. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hockenson from 6 yards away. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. The fourth quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Counter play with Jacobs. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. And out now come the Vikings. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points and there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Able to shake him off. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10. McCarthy off the play fake. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Green Bay, a victory in Week 18 gives them a final mark of 13 up and 4 down. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they wanted desperately to finish above 500, but that will not happen as it is an 8-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.